Hello, welcome to Scratch 3D Printing. In this video I'll be showing that 3D printers and 3D printing is actually useful. Let's scratch today's topic. So as you can see here, the setup and everything, me myself, very similar to the previous video because this video is recorded after that video. Why? Well, I am going on a fishing trip to North Dakota. We're gonna go catch some white bass and I'm gonna try to record some of those things and make a short video of it or post it on my Discord. If you haven't yet joined my Discord, the community there is very amazing. And I will also try to make a small short videos about that. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is that 3D printing is actually quite useful. Why? I will show you. So the other day I went fishing with this reel and I untied this thing like so loose. I throw it, this thing flew off into the water and now my cap is gone. So what I do? I 3D printed one. This is nylon, but it doesn't really work because I just quickly model this and try to make it work, but it doesn't work because if you tie this up, you spin this backward, it's gonna untie it. So you actually need to put a lot more works to it. With a little bit more effort, I think this might be really good. This is not the best part. Quick 2-minute sketch, so it will never work, right? It also has a heated insert in there. Okay, but this next thing is very useful. This is a fishing box. Well, what does it look like on the inside? Looks like that. These are sinkers that I'm going to be using on my fishing line. What I'm planning is use like a swim bait here or like a plastic jig bait up here. This is going to be my sinker and this is going to be where all my hooks go. I don't really have that yet because I'm making this video, and then afterward I'm going to go and pack all of my fishing gears and then we will get to the trip. But 3D printing is very useful. You can just quickly make these boxes and divide them to how many shape and size you want. You can make it how small you want, you can make it how big you want. It's all up to your 3D designing skill and your 3D printer's build volume. I also made a smaller fishing box right here. It's the same thing and you can see the size here. So I decided to go with the big one so that I can carry more of these sinker and hooks and more plastic bait. And I also have one more thing. 3D printed spool line holder, I think that's what they call it, but it's not the best one because as you can see it actually went through here, but it's still very useful. I could not find anything in the house that can roll super fast, so I just designed this, 3D printed, and 1 hour later I got this. 3D printing is very useful for like very close stuff that you can't order online and make it on time. And or if like it's at night and the store is closed, what are you gonna do? Well, you can just 3D print them. Just quickly model this, 3D print it, put my fingers in here and then just quickly reel it in. The reason why it's like this because this is 2-piece, so it just stick on together, and these fishing wire are so thin that it actually went through the small crack in there and it's like that, but it's still very useful. You can just put this in your bag and when you are out of fishing line, you can just use this and just put it onto your reel. And I also 3D printed these. Well, I think these might be the most useful in this video. Why? Because traveling with fishing pole like 6 feet, 7 feet long fishing pole, you gotta put it through the trunk of your car into the front seat, and that's mostly how people travel with it. Unless you can tie it on top of your car, but people don't really do that because it could potentially fly off. So I made these. And how does this work? Well, I'm gonna be taping this one at the back of the car and one at the front of the car, something like this, right? And then put the fishing pole through this hole and to this hole, so it's gonna be like this, and the fishing pole is gonna sit something like this so that it's easy to access. When you are at like a fishing spot, these are sitting like this, you can just put the handle on the fishing rod back here and you can just quickly test a spot at North Dakota at Devil's Lake. We are going fishing at North Dakota, Devil's Lake. You can just quickly pull up your rod and go do a quick testing with it, and you can just come back to your car, just slip it through, and you are on to your next spot. I'm so excited to go fishing at North Dakota at Devil's Lake. Well, yeah, I was excited. And by the way, that first portion of the video was supposed to be uploaded on the channel 3 days ago, but with time constraint and very close for the trip, I did not have time to edit and upload it, so here we are now. 3 days later, I'm back from the trip. I was very excited, but after the trip it was like, oh my gosh. But it's still a really good experience. Let me explain now. So in total we got 15 fish, 14 white bass and 1 walleye fish. So it's not the best. Usually we get around 100 to 200 fish in total, but this time it was pretty bad luck. I think it was something like that. But despite that, it was a very nice experience, and I will explain that after this portion because I want to show you the stuff that I mentioned earlier in the video, or like 3 days ago, and tell you which one is the best useful thing for me. So for the fishing spool here, it was very useful, but we did not get to use it, and by we, me and my family, did not get to use this because our fishing line was pretty good and we did not have to cut off the line that much. But I would still say this is a really good 3D printed piece for fishing stuff like that, and just for the purpose of reeling in any type of string that you have at home. Really, it could be modified to have a handle here. I tried to do that. Time was the problem here. I did not have that much time to actually model this thing to make it work. Have a handle here and you just reel this thing, spin like this, but it's still very nice. You might ask, what about the original one? Well, the original one, I threw it away. This piece was another part. It does work, but this hole, it was a little bit too small and it did not stick well to the card. The card was not like plastic piece or metal or anything at the top. It was cloth, and tape does not stick well with cloth at all. I put double-sided tape up here, packaging tape through this hole, and with minimum force, it came right off. So it could be very useful, but because it doesn't stick to the card, it's not that useful, and I don't want to drill up the card because it's a rental card. The most useful piece was this box, and then yeah, like I said, I put my sinker here. My hook is supposed to go here, but I use all the hooks because at Devil's Lake, there's so many rocks, so many fishing lines, so many baits inside of the lake. So when you throw in your fishing line, you reel it in. There's a chance that it's gonna get stuck in there and you just gotta cut off your fishing line. But I still have a whole pack of hooks left in my bags. I just put like 10 or 20 in here just for quick access. And like I said, plastic, hard plastic, soft plastic, baits up here, and it's just very nice. The frog just sitting there. This was like one of the best thing ever. When you throw it in your fishing rod, you reel it in and then it gets stuck. You need to cut your fishing line. I can just quickly pull this out and then just put everything in my fishing line, and within 1 minute I got everything set up and I am ready to throw it again. So this box is so nice. Yeah, I could just buy this at the store, but it's not as fun as making one yourself, right? Okay, so now that I got all the 3D printed parts, seeing which one is the best. And by the way, the next time we go, I will try and 3D print more stuff for fishing, because with this trip I got more ideas of what is useful and what is not. This portion here is not going to be related to 3D printing and stuff like that, but it's just my experience of fishing at North Dakota, Devil's Lake. So we've been trying to fish at Devil's Lake for 5 to 6 years, maybe 7 years now. And the first time that we went at North Dakota, Devil's Lake, I'm just gonna call it North Dakota. The first time that we went fishing at North Dakota, we caught some fish, but we did not catch that many because it was like one of the first time that we went fishing at the place. At the time, I don't have that much experience in fishing, and I was still young, so I did not know how to fish in order to tie my own fishing hooks, and I was scared of the fish. I did not know how to unhook the fish. So every single time I cast and lost my hook and my sinker, I went to my dad or my older brother and I asked them to fix up my fishing line, and so that took a lot of time for them and for me. During that time, they could have caught like 1 or 2 more fishes, but because of that, we lost some time and we lost some fish. It was like the first time that we go there, so we did not know the place. We went with our cousin and we just follow them wherever they go. We just follow them because we don't know where to fish. We don't know the place and we don't know which spot has the most fish. So we just follow them to wherever they go. We just go. And so that was a pretty decent experience. But that time we went to a spot and that place has many fish. So we just fished there and we did not travel that much. So that's that. And we did catch a pretty decent amount of fish, but we did not catch as much as them. Like I said, first time at that place and we were not that experienced like them. They actually share some fish with us, which is kind of embarrassing, but it's like that. When you go with somebody, when you ask somebody to go fishing with you and you get more fish than them, you really gotta share that fish because you ask them to go with you, right? So it's like you're the leader, you're responsible for them. If they don't have any fish and you got like a couple, you just need to give it to them because you asked them to go with you. But that's besides the point. So 1 year later, we went fishing again at North Dakota, and it's been a year, right? So we don't remember the place. We don't know the place at North Dakota, and I did not fish that much here where I live. So my experience with fishing is still like let's say a level 1, right? I did not advance to level 2. I'm just still at level 1. Don't know how to fish, don't know how to put the drag, don't know anything about fishing. All I know is just throw, reel it in, throw, reel it in. I did not know how to like bait the fish or like jerk it so that the bait is like swimming like a real fish, and then the fish want to actually bite it. I did not know all of that. I just know throw, reel it in as fast as I can, and we're just like throw, slowly reel in, just look at the people next to me and just copy them while they're getting fish and I'm not getting any. So it's basically similar to the first time that we went. We did not go fishing at North Dakota for like 3 to 4 years now, and just this year I decided to, you know what, I'm gonna step up my fishing game. And so I did. And now that I'm over age, I need to buy a fishing license so that I can fish where I live now. So I decided to do that. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna really get into fishing. So just this year, I bought a fishing license, I bought a new fishing rod, I bought a new fishing reel, and that cost over $200 for me. It's like, oh my gosh, that is so much. But screw it, I decided to go all in now. I also bought so many baits, I also bought so many hooks, I also bought so many sinker. Just trying all these different stuff with fishing techniques, watching all the fishing videos and stuff like that. Just 3 days ago, we decided to go to North Dakota again. And this time, like I said, we only caught 15 fish. And our cousin that we went to, they only caught 19 fish. It was like, why is this year so bad? No white bass is biting our baits. And so I was like, oh my god, this year's so bad. But then I realized that this year was not that bad because we went to this place, there's no fish. We went to the other place, there's no fish. So now that I'm older and more experienced with life-ish and stuff like that, I know how to fish more and more think about fishing now. So we went to this spot here, no fish. I pinned that spot. We went to this spot, no fish. I also Google Map, pinned that spot. And just this year, we found like 5 new spots for fishing at North Dakota instead of just the main spot that we usually go to. And there's so many freaking flies and mosquitoes at Devil's Lake this year. I have no idea why, but there's like billions of flies and mosquitoes. But luckily those mosquitoes don't know how to bite people. They just all around us. They don't bite. So if they bite, I could have got like thousands of mosquito bite, but luckily they don't know how to bite. Like I said, we did not caught that much fish. All I caught was 2 white bass and like 3 to 4 northern pike. There were so many pike at Devil's Lake this year. We just caught so much pike and no white bass. And I'll put a clip right here where I fight a pike. I was just playing with the pike because everybody that went to North Dakota was kind of frustrated, and me myself was kind of frustrated too because the first two days I did not caught any fish. So when I caught that pike, I was like, damn it, I'm just gonna play with you, man. 2 days now I got nothing, so I'm just gonna play with this pike, and I just reel it in, let the pike go, reel it in, let the pike go. Just so fun. I'll put a clip right here now.
Yeah. Ronnie! I got this stuff. Oh.
As you saw there, it was very fun fighting the pike, but it's not the best quality because I recorded using sunglasses. I record using this sunglasses here because one hand is holding the fishing rod, one hand is reeling in, how would you record, right? I could put a phone at my forehead here, but it would look weird, so I just use these sunglasses like this, and it has a camera right here. The control is over here. You just click here and then you are recording, and this thing does not have image stabilization and it records like the worst quality ever, but at least something is there and it doesn't look weird because it's a sunglass. It protects you from the sun and you can actually see the water more clearly, and it also records, so it's just plus bonus, and I look so cool here. I'm just kidding. Yeah, and this thing was pretty cool. Well, I think I talk way too much. I just want to get that out there to you guys, and I just want to record this for myself later in the future because I am planning, or we, my family, are planning to go to North Dakota again. Maybe next week, maybe like a month later, but we are planning to go there again and test our luck to see if we will be able to catch some more white bass instead of northern pike. Oh my gosh. But anyway, that'll be it for this video. 3D printing is actually useful for real life stuff and for fishing. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all of your supports, and as always, keep on 3D printing. I need to get this video edited, uploaded as quickly as possible, and I need to catch up on my 3D printing videos idea because I'm 3 days behind schedule.